I'm back. Hi, welcome back to the Truth Doctor Show. My name is Dr. Courtney Tracy. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and I have been missing for almost a month. I want to talk about where I've been because you deserve to know as my audience. I have been completing in vitro fertilization. It was successful. We will have a baby Truth Doctor on the way. I also have been working on opening up my second chain of treatment centers in the state of California. The newest center that I've opened is called Exist Centers, and we treat co-occurring disorders as well as substance use disorders and mental health on its own. And we specialize in personality disorders, depression, anxiety, and addiction. So I have been so busy, but I haven't forgotten about any of you. And I'm really excited to continue with this Fleabag series because you deserve it. So without further ado, let's get to it. Running in the cemetery.
Happy birthday. You won't eat it.
Thanks. There's this huge promotion in Finland. So this party is quite a serious... I mean, it's basically a business meeting.
Sounds like a blast. Can I bring a date?
Harry?
No.
Hello, Claire speaking.
Mum died 3 years ago. She had a double mastectomy, but never really recovered. It was particularly hard because she had amazing boobs. What's Martin giving you?
Ugh, cursory stroke would be nice.
What? No bang bang?
He says he's still got that thing on his...
What?
I don't have to
Yes,
say...
you do.
No,
Come on, little
not
one.
here.
Come on, please.
No, penis.
Thank you.
Sisters, siblings, even cousins at times can have really interesting relationships where they know each other so well that they can push each other's buttons, but that they don't know each other well enough to where every single assumption that they make is correct. For example, we saw Fleabag push her sister to say the word penis, and you could tell that her sister found that uncomfortable to say in front of Fleabag and to say that in front of their past mother. However, Fleabag also thought that her sister wasn't going to eat that snack that she got from probably her bakery to give to her for her birthday, and her sister did in fact eat it.
She won't eat it.
Thanks.
We may think that we know someone, but we won't know everything about them. And they may have had changes occur since the last time that we saw them, or the last time that we spoke with them, or the last time that they actually opened up to us that makes them act differently now.
Christ. Look at that man. Tragic.
Nah, he's a con.
You can't call someone who is grieving a card.
Trust me, he's in a different grave every day. He can't get enough of it.
You come here every day.
There are these moments between Fleabag and her sister where they really do show genuine concern for one another. And often it's to give an opinion about that concerned area when her sister says,
You come here every day.
and there's just this kind of pause. And I'm sure that, you know, what would be going on inside the mind of her sister would either be like, this is completely morbid. Like, why is she doing this? Or it could be, I wonder if she's actually having difficulty processing this grief, not only for the loss of her best friend, which is the point of this season, but also the loss of her mother. Why jog through the cemetery when we could really jog through most places? And often it's because we find some sense of comfort or get some sense of relief from whatever area that we choose. If they didn't care about each other, they wouldn't push each other, they wouldn't ask each other those questions, and they wouldn't really have opinions. And I say that in this specific relationship and situation. Of course, there are relationships and situations where you love the person and care about the person and you're not pushing them or having opinions about them. But I think with this specific dynamic, we can really see that that's sort of how they show their affection to one another. And that's a completely fine way to show affection. It works for them, seemingly.
Time to throw the net out.
To find a date for her sister's birthday, okay?
I'm in so much trouble.
Jesus Christ!
When am I gonna get Claire? I am meant to get her the perfect present. I am not drunk.
Always drunk.
Smack me in the face. Really hard.
Really?
Yeah.
She always loses business somehow.
He's one of those men who is explosively sexually inappropriate with everyone, but makes you feel bad if you take offense, because he was just being fun.
Yes, you pop to the loo, pull down your knickers, and then I will come in and you.
Okay.
You know, guinea pigs can die of loneliness.
Can they?
Hold her.
No.
She needs it.
No. And she says not to buy her any clothes because she probably won't wear them. She scares me.
Obviously, there's some behaviors of Martin that we may think could be changed to make his life better and perhaps his relationships better. But he said a really key word. He said, I'm scared of her.
She scares me.
The sister has very, and I don't necessarily like this word, but I'm going to say it because it's the word that is used when referencing personality. The sister has much more of a neurotic personality. She wants things to be a certain way. It causes her a lot of anxiety if she isn't in control. And these things are fine. Neuroticism often can be linked with pathology, meaning there's something wrong with being that way, but there isn't. That's why we're kind of trying to switch the word, or at least use the word in other contexts so it doesn't sound so pathological. But she is more neurotic. She's less open to new experiences. Martin, he's trying to have a relationship with her. Obviously, he has his own issues. He probably has some substance use concerns. He definitely has some inappropriate communication techniques when it comes to engaging with people in general, and especially when it comes to engaging with women. And at the moment, they're trying to make their relationship work to some degree. There is something obviously going on. We don't know what it is, but he's sort of attempting to get close to a degree. And I don't know if she is either, but there's an issue going on between them, and it's something that we're going to have to figure out before the season ends.
I don't know who she is. Is she?
No. This is perfect. Get her something she'd never get herself. Surprise her.
She'll think I've gone nuts.
No, she'll think you see her as this person. And everyone wants to be this person.
I don't know.
It's a great. My neighbor
Who is that?
is really fit.
I'm really sorry we're really high. We just really wanted to know what you look like.
She thinks you're lovely.
Hey! Hey!
He can run pretty good in those.
Hey! Hey! What's your problem?
That
Who
guy
was
shakes
that?
his head.
Oh, no one. It was, what? No, no one. I just need to go and get a drink or something.
See, whatever it is that just happened between that neighbor and her, it made her feel uncomfortable. It made her feel something that she doesn't want to feel, whatever it is. It was something negative. First thing that she does is she leaves, she escapes. And then the first thing that she says is, I just need a drink or something. This is where the problem comes in when the substances are used to help us escape. And this is what we see going on with Fleabag. Listen, it's normal in that a lot of people do it. It's part of the human condition. A part of the human condition is to escape pain and move towards pleasure. The problem is that consciously, hopefully, she'll get to a place to realize that the best thing for her is going to be to start to learn how to process and cope with these feelings instead of just escape them every moment that she possibly can.
So come on, who was that heartbreaker?
He used to go out with Boo.
Oh, he was dating Boo.
Then he slept with someone else, and then she...
Yeah, I know. Okay.
What is it?
Yeah, what is it?
You having an affair?
Little advice from a married man. You should probably get yourself out there, sweetie. You're just tipping your prime.
There's a lot of defense mechanisms that come from Martin. You know, the words that he uses, the perspectives that he takes, even saying, let me give you some advice from a married man. It was married and it was man. He is very superficial when it comes to what women's bodies look like, the fact that he's married and she's not, but even though his marriage isn't going well right now, he still uses the fact that he's married to say that he is someone that has the authority to give Fleabag advice. All of those things can be really offensive. And of course, if we find ourselves being offended in that way, it is okay to say something, to set a boundary. And at the same time, it's important to look at that potential offensiveness and not let it become integrated into your own self-identity, to be able to realize that there's something going on with this person, this individual, that they're dysregulated and potentially unstabilized. And I need to not integrate that pain into me. I need to see it for what it is, make a boundary, and then move on with my life, basically.
I have a date. Get the trainers. Shop closes in an hour.
What are we doing?
Oh, it's the bus guy.
Oh my God, I love surprises. Go on.
Yeah, but I just thought I need to get her a present.
Oh my God,
first,
what are you going to get her?
Oh, he's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, these places all the time. So, yeah.
God, thank you so much. I'm so surprised.
How divine. What a lovely husband you have.
Where is he then?
Busy.
When the comment is made, what a lovely husband you have, with everyone assuming that the husband is who put this surprise party together, when in reality it was her. It was her because it made her probably feel safer. She liked knowing exactly what was going to happen. And I think she said something about it being very important, the period that she's in right now when it comes to her employment and her business, and that this is sort of a business birthday. So it makes sense that she would want to have control over it. And with their marriage right now, he seems to probably be demasculated. And I don't think it's something that she's doing intentionally, but I think it's something that may be happening to Martin. And then to hear a whole party of people want to and sort of praise him for a party that he did nothing for, she did, it's falsified. And they're not living in reality. They're not really talking to each other. They're not really connecting. It's just not working. They're just not genuinely connecting and not actually showing up in the world as they really are, so they can actually have real connections with people.
Yeah, I'm essentially a documentary maker. Docs.
Oh, really? What is your latest project?
Well, sir, I'm interested in life.
Find anything nicer?
Oh, I was so sorry to hear about Harry. Lovely Harry. I just can't stop conjuring an image of you sitting around that cafe, just all alone, feeling so terribly lonely.
Okay, this appears to me to be really fake empathy. Oh my God. Have you ever just been in the presence of someone who is actually trying to make you feel terrible while making it come off like they're trying to be there for you, sympathize with you, empathize with you, and it's just so disrespectful? What comes up for me when I think about those types of behaviors is, what is the point? The point seems to just be to make the other person feel bad, but that's the outward outcome of the behavior. What is the person benefiting from acting that way? It could be a sense of control, because then they can kind of control how that person is feeling. It can be a feeling of superiority, where I'm sort of manipulating the way that you're feeling and you might not know about it, but it makes me feel good because I'm mad at you or upset with you or don't really like you. And what I ultimately think about as a therapist is, there are such better ways to spend your energy and such better ways to treat people. This is such an awkward conversation. And one of the things that I really like about this show is that they really show the type of relationships and communication and coping skills that are more realistic in the world today. These awkward moments, these saying something that you don't really mean, having somebody else pick out a gift for someone else, having a surprise party that you already knew about. It's these ways that we hide ourselves, who we are, and our true feelings and emotions, because it's safer.
Did your father tell you that one of my pieces has gone missing?
He did. It's awful. I'm so sorry.
So sweet of you.
All of your desires are wrapped up in here.
All of your desires.
Open it. Well, gold has always...
Oh no.
Wow.
It's really maybe a bit inappropriate for your guests.
I mean, that's a good excuse to get it away from everyone.
Somewhere safe.
Your boy, he is hilarious, smart, funny.
Fuck off.
You'd fuck anything, wouldn't you?
This busman who's here at her sister's surprise party with her, here with Fleabag, they cast him to emphasize his physical appearance. They cast him because of his face, because of his teeth, and they made it part of the script for Martin to say, you'd just about anything, wouldn't you? It just goes a little too far, I think, because that's not the only thing that's important. And yes, of course, sex is a physical act, but that doesn't mean it's just based on what somebody looks like physically. And so I had to pause and say something about that comment because it really, truly is a really inappropriate thing to say.
She's gonna leave you one day.
Yeah.
You looking forward to that?
Don't. What? What?
You're an asshole.
What are you gonna do? Oh, what a shitty situation to be in.
Hey!
Oh, no. Oh, God.
Why are you leaving so early?
Oh, I have to give Hilary some Earl Grey. It's called a borrower. It basically won't stop until you come.
Sounds horrendous. Thank you.
Hmm.
Are you okay?
Yeah?
Tell the truth.
Man.
Are we leaving?
Fleabag and her sister, they know some of the biggest issues that they're each having in their lives. Fleabag gives her sister a sexual toy for her birthday because she knows that she isn't engaging in sexual behavior in her marriage and is frustrated about it. And Fleabag's sister also knows that Fleabag hasn't truly processed her emotions, that she escapes from them. And oftentimes her sister does encourage her to actually start to process them. And it was really sweet the way that her sister asked her if she was okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah?
She genuinely asked in a way where I think she would have taken the time to hear the answer, even though she was in the middle of a really important business surprise birthday party. And as much as Fleabag can lie and can be manipulative, and everybody can do that, Fleabag just has a tendency to engage in those behaviors and those traits more frequently at this time because of what she's going through in her life. Doesn't make it right, but it makes it make sense. And I felt really bad for Fleabag in this moment because she truly she couldn't say something, knowing how important it was for her sister and this business, and it would ruin their marriage. And that's just a very delicate thing. And so while there really isn't any right time, it often can be that the right time is just as soon as possible before more pain can be caused. But I do think that she did the right thing in this moment, not saying anything in this moment. And you could see that it really hurt her. You could see that she wanted to say something and felt really bad knowing that this was going to come and that her sister was going to feel this pain at some point. It can be really hard to have those types of conversations just as a family member, as a partner, as a sister, especially when you were sort of involved in the action. Like she wasn't involved at all. Like she did not move forward with engaging in what was happening between her and Martin, but she was a part of it. And so it's just messy and it's confusing and it's going to be really hurtful. And so I just feel for Fleabag in this moment. And it actually really allowed us to see this part of her that genuinely does have the ability to care about other people. And it's sad that she's going to have to do this at some point.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh. He felt like it was amazing.
For fuck's sake.
Oh.
You don't go through life with teeth like these and not know when someone's pretending.
What the fuck is that? I'll kick it. I'll kick it. I'll kick it.
This show. Boo loved the guinea pig. Good job, Fleabag. Yes, excellent. Last comment on this episode. We're going to roll right into episode 4. I am so glad that Busman said something. I'm so glad that we were able to sort of see that he's not oblivious to how the world treats him simply based off of his physical appearance. The fact that he kept saying, that was amazing, that was amazing. He was truly connecting with her and she was not connecting with him at all. You can see that Fleabag had somewhat of a reaction to it because the next thing that she did was sort of open herself up to some type of intimacy and some type of connection, even if that intimacy and connection was just the ability to tap into more memories of Boo. Activating a memory that she has been trying to actively avoid really shows that even unconsciously, there was this, I really need to figure something out. I really need to start trying to get better. And that was one way that she started to do so. Let's move in to episode 4.
No one can hold a map in their head.
I can. It's 3 times
Yes,
away.
people can
So
hold
gonna get
maps
this
in their
wrong.
head.
Oh my God, there. Mindful. Oh God, farm. There it is. We're going the right way.
Mindful farm. What's going on?
It's okay. I'm fucking okay. I'm excellent.
Work or Martin or...
I'm fine. It's fine. Martin's being lovely.
Really? Fucking psycho.
Come on. Oh my God. First of all, you are not a fucking psycho if you have panic attacks in the car, if you have to pull over to the side of the road, if you randomly start to have a breakdown, if you hold it together till you can't anymore. None of that is psychotic. That is all trying to be a human being when life is extremely overwhelming. And there's something to say about Fleabag's inability to tap into the fact that her sister was already distressed. Her sister is someone who, again, is way more neurotic than Fleabag is. Heightened anxiety, the need to be in control, being more hypervigilant, which means you're just constantly more like looking around more for danger and always being heightenedly aware of it. And we could see that. You can see that. You know, she's getting more anxious and nervous about if she's going to miss the turn, and she's holding onto the steering wheel and she's sort of talking like she's more agitated. And Fleabag she's sort of an instigator, which is okay, but it can be difficult to be in a car with an instigator when you're dysregulated and they aren't really attuning, meaning like matching and leveling with the emotions that you are expressing verbally or non-verbally. This is really key to point out that for Fleabag, she has a really hard time tapping into her own emotions and her own physiology. And the moment when she starts to feel something negative, she wants to escape with alcohol, with sex, with some other way to just ignore what it is that's going on for her. And that's going to make it really hard for her to see what's going on for her sister. And the last thing I'll say about this is that even though Fleabag was right about exactly what her sister was going to say,
You don't always know what I'm going to say, okay?
Sorry.
Out of
Out of her when she's driving.
me while I'm driving.
and her sister was sort of wrong when saying, you don't always know everything I'm going to say. Just because you know what someone's going to do or say or think doesn't mean you should take their agency away from them. So as much as Fleabag was right, there really are 2 parts of it. 1 is knowing that you will not ever know everything about someone. And 2, even if you're right in that moment, give them the opportunity to exist. And they deserve for you to be there witnessing their existence and making them feel like it matters and you can care for it.
Dad really splashed out this time.
You must be about to do something awful.
Okay, their dad is sending them. Oh.
Happy Mother's Day.
Because it's Mother's Day. This is going to be an interesting episode for sure. I think it's kind of nice that their dad gave them this opportunity to go on this retreat on Mother's Day. They've said in a prior episode that the dad has difficulty like knowing how to take care of 2 daughters after a mother dies.
Dad's way of coping with 2 motherless daughters was to buy us tickets to feminist lectures, start fucking our godmother, and eventually stop calling.
I mean, one thing that you could not do is jump into a relationship with their godmother, which is something that they both have said has affected them, or at least Fleabag said has affected both of them. But it makes sense that the dad's going to have difficulty. The most appropriate and I think most helpful next step, though, would be to sit down and really talk with them about it. And even in the first episode where Fleabag showed up to her dad's doorstep, kind of admitting everything negative that she felt about herself.
Oh, fuck it. I have a horrible feeling that I'm a greedy, perverted, selfish, morally bankrupt woman who can't even call herself a feminist.
And looking for that parental support, like he wasn't able to give it. His actual response was,
You get all that from your mother.
all those negative things. So there are obviously things that the dad could do that would be more supportive to his daughters. But this isn't a bad idea, giving them tickets to a retreat because you don't know how to support them and you're trying to do it in the best way that you can. Not that bad. What?
Yes?
She responds.
Gonna die.
Why would you bring such tiny batteries?
I'm just prepared.
Just have only ever seen them used for remote controls.
Yes,
or,
well...
or alarm clocks.
Yes, all right.
And vibrators.
Yes, all right.
Aha.
You're a genius.
I like that they just showed Boo and this connection that Fleabag had with Boo right after the interaction with Fleabag and her sister. Fleabag is missing someone to be her best friend. Fleabag is missing someone that engages in her humor the same way that she does, engages in her level of sexual conversation and jokes in the same way that she does. She's missing that connection and that closeness. And, you know, it's obvious that she seeks that connection because connection can often look like attention, and she definitely seeks attention from other human beings, most of the time sexually or romantically. But this is something that I think is really important to point out. Yes, they have a very typical sibling relationship, Fleabag and her sister. And at the same time, Fleabag's inability to process her grief and loss and to truly acknowledge what she's lacking in her life, which is this closeness to another human being that's similar to her. It's preventing her from being able to see that she may be pushing her sister a little bit too much. What's hard, I think, is the more that we disconnect from ourselves, the more difficult it is to see how we are affecting other people. My hope for this series, because I really have not seen it and it's taken me so long to get through it, is that that's what this show is going to be about. It's going to be about Fleabag slowly addressing her coping when it comes to what she experiences emotionally. And while she's able to realize and gain insight into that, she then is able to treat people better, or at least see people in a different way that causes her to engage with them differently.
Welcome to the female-only Breath of Silence retreat. Women don't speak.
Sorry. I think I meant to be at, that one.
What is this other retreat where they're just saying slut over and over?
It's about leaving your voice in your head and trapping your thoughts in your skull. Think of it as a thought prison in your mind.
That does not sound helpful.
Firstly, principal rules are no talking. If you need to communicate with any of our other superiors, you can write on that board.
Okay, so I totally get this, doing like mundane or like random, like everyday tasks and doing it in silence and being able to be more at one with simply what it is that you're doing right in front of you. And that thought prison statement, no. When it comes to mindfulness and meditation, what we want to realize is that our thoughts are not us. They don't need to be trapped within us. Sure, we don't need to say them out loud, but often better mindfulness or visualization techniques are watching the thoughts outside of your head, maybe on clouds going by, on cars going by, just the sentences themselves, and watching them as they pass without grabbing on to them, making judgments and opinions about them, and then sort of eating those judgments and opinions to create an identity for ourselves. We want to detach from those thoughts and allow them to pass. Certainly not a thought prison.
Back to me. All right, now,
Okay,
wherever
what
it's
is
come
this?
from,
What
your
are these
upbringing,
dolls?
Your experiences with women, now is the time to turn that around.
She's the youngest person to ever achieve this role. What should we not say when we meet her?
Clever little munchkin.
Excellent.
Who'd you blow to get that job?
Okay. Slut. You fucking stupid slut. Okay. Well done, Patricia.
Please leave.
Perv.
Slut.
Wow. Well done.
That was actually much more of a realistic like retreat. What that's providing is emotional release. So what is really inside of you? Let's get it out. Let's not trap it within you like a thought prison. Get it out. show the people who are supposed to be helping you what that looks like physiologically, what that looks like non-verbally and verbally, and how you really feel about it and what's really going on, and say the inappropriate things out loud in a space where it's not going to hurt other people. That's why they're like, get out of here. Like, you really shouldn't be here for your own good, to Fleabag. And then once that's processed, the next step is to figure out what's underneath that. How is that behavior serving what you're really feeling within? And then how can we shift those behaviors or those statements or those perspectives so that you can accomplish what it is that you want in life? So if anyone was caught off guard by the aspect of that men's retreat, it's important to realize that it may feel uncomfortable to hear those words said out loud, but they are said out loud. People do feel that way. And if they don't have a place to express it safely with someone that can help them process it, then they're just going to be out there in the world saying it to people in a harmful way because it is unprocessed. So yeah, it sucks. And it's really important because they're there to help themselves to be a better man.
Literally her worst nightmare.
I have a lot of sensory sensitivities, and anyone that may be neurodivergent in terms of autism or ADHD or other similar disorders, sensory processing disorder, this doesn't feel that bad when I do it to myself. But let me tell you, when my husband fingertips touch me and I'm not ready for it, like touch my fingertips, oh, I lose it. I lose it.
And Martin getting me that sculpture. He must have bent over backwards to get something like that.
Oh.
I have to tell you something.
Oh.
What?
I stole that sculpture. Don't put it pride of place when when they come over. Okay, because...
Right.
Interestingly, Claire, Fleabag's sister, just had a very similar behavior to Fleabag. She heard something that hurt her and she turned the light off and turned over and went to sleep. She also avoided in that moment the emotion, but here's where it's different. And this is where substances really come into play. Fleabag avoids, but she also escapes. She escapes her body and she escapes her mind with the substances. For Claire, yes, she's avoiding continuing the conversation and she is escaping by escaping through sleep, but she isn't going to fall asleep instantly. And so she's going to be there with her body, with her brain, with her mind. She's going to be thinking about what was said. She disengaged from the conversation instead of fully escaping. And that is a big difference. And that's actually where substance use can become habitual and it can become addictive because of that ability to escape your brain and body. It's very alluring to someone who's experiencing too much negative emotion or pain and they don't feel strong enough in the moment to deal with it. And so much for it being quiet.
A moment of noise. A moment of tension.
Fleabag does not want to do that.
Not for now.
Cleaning their own retreat house and doing their own gardening. Yes.
Simple. We've paid them to let us clean their house in silence.
Exactly.
I got the Finland promotion.
What Finland promotion?
How can you ask that? I've told you about
I
it.
know the Finland promotion. That's amazing.
Thank you. I'm turning it down.
What? Why, Martin? Don't let other people get in the way of what you really want. Finland is what you really want.
My husband isn't other people, okay? My husband is my life.
Your husband tried to kiss me on your birthday.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, God.
Did he?
Was this the right time? It perhaps was not the right time because they were just already discussing something that was emotional. They were like in trouble or detention in that room. And at the same time, she was about to make a decision that would alter the rest of her life for Martin, feeling like her husband is her life. She said, I feel so lucky.
I feel very lucky.
So it was one letdown to hear about the statue because that means my husband doesn't really know me or can think about things that I might want. And now it's my husband is unfaithful to me, so much so that he even tries to be unfaithful to me with my sister. That's really devastating news to hear and really confusing and upsetting. And she needed to know. And she deserved to know that truth before she went and made a decision that would, again, change her life forever.
Okay. Up on your feet. We're going to say, sorry, Patricia.
Sorry, Patricia.
Oh.
Lovely. Give yourselves a round of applause.
I mean, yes, saying sorry, but like, let's work on saying other things instead of slut, right?
So is your business surviving? I touched a colleague's breast more than once. At a party, I'm just a very disappointing man. They keep asking me, what do you want from this workshop? What do you want? I want to hug my wife. Protect my children, protect my daughter.
Wow.
I want to apologise to everyone.
I just want to cry all the time.
We experience this as human beings all the time. This is what I'm writing my book about, and it's going to debut in early 2025. And the basis of it is that we have unconscious processing that occurs in our body, our brain, and our mind, and it is habitual and it is routine. It's not who we are, and it is who we are. And this bank manager just had a really great description and an explanation of what's happening. He says, I am a disappointing man. And what he's referencing are his behaviors and his perspectives, and that he doesn't feel like that is him. And that's this part of him that is consciously aware and wants to be better and wants to be different. And then there's everything that he is unconsciously through pattern and, again, habituation, acting in these ways or having these thoughts or these feelings over and over and over again. So those become the easiest and most readily available behaviors and responses to the world. And we often live between both of these areas of ourselves. We know who we want to be and what we want to do, and then we're stuck with these unconscious patterns and habits that make us feel like we're never going to get out of this going back and forth of knowing who we want to be and dealing with who we are and trying to integrate the two without shame or guilt or it being too difficult. I just want to say that if you're there, if that's where you are, it's very human to be there. It's very human to end up somewhere in your life or to end up being someone and then looking back and going, how the hell did I get here? How did I get to this place? This is the point of healing. And I'm glad that even throughout this wild retreat that was really seemingly unhelpful for most people, they were able to get to really the point of what these retreats are, which is, what is it that I really want? What's really underneath? And what do I need to do better? Oh, is she gonna get in the bed? That's very sweet. You know, that's sweet for Fleabag to do for Claire. That's sweet for Claire to do with Fleabag. But it's also sweet for Fleabag to do that for herself. To connect, to allow herself to connect to her sister in that way. Gone home, left money at reception, just needed a bit of quiet.
I can't come to the phone right now, but please leave me a message, so I will get back to you.
Someone should probably disconnect that.
She's working on it. She's working on addressing her grief and loss. She's tapping in slowly to these triggers or these memories or these activations of Boo. And I'm proud of her for doing that. It was interesting that she turned straight to calling Boo's voicemail when she realizes that her sister is gone in that moment where she feels alone, We're slowly seeing Fleabag have these moments where she becomes emotionally activated and she turns towards the main emotion that she's trying to avoid. She's slowly starting to make progress, and that's a good thing because we're on episode 4 and there's only 2 more left of the season. What are your thoughts so far? Do you know people in your life that are similar to Fleabag? Are you similar to Fleabag? I can tell you, and I think I mentioned this in the first episode, I acted very much like Fleabag. I could not address my emotions. I definitely turned to maladaptive coping skills, and I definitely treated the people in my life poorly. I can admit that I did that. And it's important to make change eventually. It's important to knowing that you only have one life and you do have a choice and you have a responsibility to activate that choice and to learn what that choice is, to do different, think different, feel different if you want to. I'm really glad to be back reacting to Fleabag. Thank you for sticking around after weeks of me being gone. And as always, I'm so glad that you exist. See you next Thursday.